This is actually a good idea that you can run away with, and even if you have different dreams, you can actually start somewhere and make sure that you have something that is giving you a source of income for you to actually get to a place where you have enough capital to start whatever you dream of starting. People are now slowly starting to realize the dangers of overprocessed foods and junk foods. And this is mainly because of the rising cases of diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancer. Yes, they've been on the rise. So people are looking for options that are organic so that they can feed more healthier. And if you are to go by the recent studies, you'll realize that the prices of these organic and leafy vegetables has gone up tremendously. Before, a family would feed on vegetables of about 20 bob of what, and they will be satisfied. But right now, you need at least maybe 50 to 100 to feed a family with green leafy vegetables. This shows that the market value of these green leafy vegetables is actually going up, and this is where now we could come in. So basically, we're talking about the Managu farming, and this is a fruit. These are green leafy vegetables that has existed for many years in Africa. People know them in different names. And in English, it's called the nightshade plant. Of course, in Kiswahili, from the coast, people call it mnavu. The Kambas call it kitulu. The Luos call it osuga. The Luyas call it namasaka, and the Kipsigis call it osoyot. Yeah, so this is how it's commonly known in Kenya, and let's see how we can make profit from farming this plant. So for those who know this plant, it just grows to a height of about 1 meter, and then it has so many leafy branches that you can actually pluck and use as a vegetable. So when planted during a rainy season, it takes about 45 days, and then you have your plant ready for harvesting. So, and when the harvesting time comes, you can harvest it weekly over a period of 3 months. So that plant that you have planted, that you have waited for 45 days for it to be ready, you can now harvest the same plant over a period of 3 months every week. And when we talk about harvesting this plant every week, sorry I did not mention before, but we are actually working with a small piece of land of about 50 by 100. So on a land of 50 by 100, you are expecting about 200 to 300 kgs every week. So before we even go back into how much we're making per week, let's look at how much we actually need to do the farming of this Managu plant. What you need for the business is only 4 things, and that is number 1, land. For land, you need to lease land if you are in the town, but if you have land lying around at the countryside or Ushago, you can easily go and start farming on that land. And in most cases, the land at home is usually much bigger. So if you're working with the land in town, leasing could be about 5,000 per year. The next thing that you need is transport and labor, which could average to about 5,000 for that period of time that you are doing the farming. We have seedlings, which will cost about 1,000 bob for the 50 by 100 piece of land that maybe you've hired or leased at the town. And finally, we can rate miscellaneous. There are costs that come up that you did not expect, maybe buying tools and everything. That will cost you about 4,000. So here we are working with a budget of 20,000, and it is going to be enough to actually start this business. So as we had said earlier, a land of 50 by 100 will be giving you about 200 to 300 kgs every week. And before you even get to the harvesting, it is good for you to actually make sure you have pre-marketed your produce even before it's ready for harvest. Visit some vendors, go to the market, go to the grocery vendors, and make sure that you have marketed your product with a good and competitive price. The competitive price in the market could be about 30 shillings per kilograms, and that is the price that market people actually buy at. As mentioned earlier, a land of 50 by 100 will be giving you about 200 to 300 kgs every week. And if you're selling your produce at about 30 shillings, which is the market price, per every kilogram, you'll actually be fetching 6,000 to 9,000 shillings every week. It is good to make sure that you visit the marketplace and also some of the grocery vendors and advertise your product even before it's ready for harvesting, so that by the time you're harvesting every week, you actually have ready buyers. 6,000 to 9,000 every week will be translating to about 24,000 to 32,000 every month. So the only way you grow in this kind of business is by making sure that you have more space or land for you to be able to be farming these plants. So as soon as you feel like you have the capacity, or you are already at the countryside where there is much land laying around, you can actually increase your acreage by working with like an acre of land. If you're working with an acre of land, you're going to be multiplying these figures by 8. So imagine 24,000 every month, multiply it by 8. This is about 192,000 every month. And if you're going to translate this per year, this is about even figures of more than 1.5 million every year. So for somebody who has a capital of 20,000 and you're thinking, what can I do with this little money that I have? Here's an idea for you, and I hope you take it positively. This is actually a good idea that you can run away with. And even if you have different dreams, you can actually start somewhere and make sure that you have something that is giving you a source of income for you to actually get to a place where you have enough capital to start whatever you dream of starting. So like any other business, every business comes with challenges, and the challenge that comes with this Managu farming is, number one, finding good productive land. Managu cannot grow everywhere, especially areas that do not have water. So you just make sure that whatever land you're working with is actually suitable for that plant that you want to farm. Number two is inconsistent rains. You know that we are going through periods where the rain is predicted and then it doesn't come. So it's good to also have an alternative source of water for you to make sure that this challenge does not prevent you from getting good yields. Number three is that during the seasons of bumper harvest, the prices usually fluctuate. The prices could go down. So it's good to monitor the patterns and make sure that most of the times that you have a good harvest and your products are going for higher, you're actually making savings as you protect yourself on the rainy day. So those are the challenges. Something good about maybe farming this Managu is that nowadays there are many other ways you can sell your products other than just selling them in the market. You can dry your Managu, you convert it into a powder such that it can be used to fortify maybe flours that people consume. Another option will be packaging and looking for a way of exporting them. Because the same way there are many ways of killing a rat, there are also many ways of utilizing your produce so that you can fetch a good price in the market.